Hi Taurus, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week of August 21st through the 27th. This is for Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, and Taurus Rising signs. So Taurus, for this reading I am using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck along with the Daily Guidance from Your Angels, Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Okay, interesting. So at the bottom of the deck, Taurus, I have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so the Seven of Swords, it's not automatically negative, so don't think that, Taurus. It can mean a couple of different things. So the Seven of Swords, of course, can represent some sort of deception. It is a more sneaky energy. It can be someone who was trying to steal something from you, Taurus, or trying to get away with something. But if that's the case, I already see that actually ending. That's over with. That's a cycle, a chapter of your life that is actually ending. But the Seven of Swords can also be a sneaky energy on your end. It's not negative. Maybe you were kind of being a little sneaky when it comes to escaping a situation. The Seven of Swords can represent you escaping something, escaping a situation, or it is also a risky energy. So maybe you're kind of manifesting quietly, making some moves quietly, and so you might have just had this energy with you or around you, and it's not necessarily anything negative. The overall energy is the Ten of Swords. So we do have some swords energy here. I think that some of you are healing. Your mind is going to be quieting, definitely, if you were a Taurus that was stressed out or dealing with some anxiety or some fear-based energies. I do see you actually moving towards you healing, definitely, and your mind calming down, you being more at peace, especially mentally. For some of you. But the Ten of Swords, because we also have that Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck, unfortunately, because it's a general reading, I have to mention that for some of you this might be betrayal. But if you have been betrayed, or you found out that someone was maybe sneaking around or lying to you about something, Taurus, this is actually the worst of it. So this is the end of that. So that's going to be ending. Maybe some of you are moving on with your life. The worst is now behind you. For other Taurians, there was maybe a difficult period, a difficult cycle within your life that you just went through, and that is coming to an end. Tens are all about cycles that are completing, and you actually already have an ace here. So for some of you, you're in this process where this is you closing the door on one chapter of your life, and you're already opening that next door. You're already moving forward through that next door into that next phase. Now, I did pull an additional card clarifying this Ten of Swords, and we actually have the Queen of Swords. So again, we have some mental energy here. That some of you, I think that you've been dealing with some mental energy. This is energy that you're working through. But this is very positive. The Queen of Swords is someone who's very, very focused, very determined. She represents that logical energy, and she's more of a serious person for me, a serious-minded person. So I think that some of you, this is definitely your energy. Very serious when it comes to something, very focused, very sharp. She can be someone who's very strategic and someone who's very detail-oriented. So some of you, this is definitely your energy. But she also will use this sword to sever ties from that's no longer serving her. So if you were a Taurus who was betrayed, or you just went through some sort of difficulty, I mean, this could be you getting a little bit more serious, and you know, you could be using the sword and severing ties from that's no longer serving you, or even cutting people out of your life. That's a possibility for some of you. But we're starting out with the Ace of Wands, which is very nice. So we have this new beginning. that's coming in for you. So this could be anything that is exciting. It can be anything from like a creative project or idea, something that you're manifesting, to a new job, a new relationship, a new home, but it's something that is exciting. Now, because we have the King of Wands underneath it, for some of you, this could be your energy, that very, very creative energy. The King of Wands is very creative, very passionate, very ambitious. When he wants something, he makes it happen. So for some of you, this definitely could be your energy. Or there could be a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries person around you that's significant, or even a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. You actually have a few characters here in this spread. So we have this fire sign energy, and we also have this water sign energy. So for some of you, this definitely could be a new relationship. I feel like this is a new relationship for some of you, absolutely. But maybe you're a Taurus that has just gotten out of another relationship. So maybe there was some deception or something like that. Or maybe you're a Taurus that's getting out of a difficult relationship. And maybe you've met someone else, or you're going to meet someone else. For some of you, with the Ace of Wands, for me, this can represent that very strong physical attraction, that physical chemistry. For those of you that this is a new relationship. And for some of you, I see you going for it, definitely. And with the Six of Swords here, there even could be physical travel. So if this is a new relationship, you could be traveling to see this person. You could be leaving, and I think this came up for you last week, if I remember correctly. You'll have to let me know. This either came up recently, maybe in the weekly forecast, or maybe the monthly forecast, but I think that this came up for you guys recently. We have this fire sign character, this fire sign energy, but you can see how the Six of Swords is actually moving forward in the opposite direction. So some of you could be leaving behind a fire sign person, and maybe you're moving towards a water sign person. Definitely. And now if this person isn't a fire sign or a water sign, I mean, they might have a water rising sign, or Venus in water or fire. That could be their rising or their moon sign, or their Venus. So very, very interesting. Some of you could be moving away from someone who comes off as the King of Wands and moving towards maybe someone who's more sensitive, or someone who has a big heart, someone who's very loving, caring, giving. Some of you could even be moving towards an ear sign person, just because the way that these cards are out, you know, I see this person moving towards this Queen of Swords here for some of you as well. So we also have the Empress. So for some of you, this is you though, Taurus. The Empress does represent your sign. So, and she is a very well-rounded woman. But she also represents abundance, and she represents that very creative energy. So I think that some of you are in the process of definitely creating, manifesting, giving birth to something wonderful here. Now, some of you, it could be a creative project. You might be starting your own business. You might be taking a risk here with this energy, with the Empress and then the Fool. You might be walking out on this new path, and it does require some sort of risk or some sort of leap of faith. And that could be why we have the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck, because it is a risky energy here. But I think that because we also have the Four of Swords here, some of you are maybe going to take a step back. This could be you spending some time alone, going off and figuring out exactly maybe how you're going to do this, or if you really want to do this here with the Four of Swords. I see some of you maybe pausing before you take that risk here, and maybe thinking about this, figuring things out with the Four of Swords. Also with the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords here, this is a healing energy. And with the Six of Swords, this is all about moving towards that peace of mind, moving on from challenges, from difficulties. So again, I see you moving away from this, a difficult period within your life, and you're moving on to something new. You're giving birth to something new, and you're also healing. And with the Four of Swords and then the Two of Wands here, you're actually making those plans for the future. You're coming up with just lots of plans and ideas for your future, Taurus. And so I see many of you just about ready to start something new, something wonderful. For some of you, it's really exciting, but for some of you, it will require that risk or that leap of faith. And so that could be why we have this Four of Swords here as well for some of you, because you're going to maybe spend some time alone, because you need some time to maybe think about this or maybe plan things out. But as you can see, overall, it's going to be just a great week for you. The Empress does also represent fertility. And because we have the Ace of Wands here as well, Taurus, just take caution. So if you don't want to conceive, if you're in a relationship and you don't want to conceive, definitely take proper precautions here. And if you do want to conceive, you know, there you go. Definitely give it a go this week, because that energy is there for some of you. You could be definitely conceiving, or, you know, maybe this is something you're making those plans for this week, Taurus. Maybe you're making those plans to start a family. But let me pull you an additional guidance card. Additional guidance for Taurus for this upcoming week. What else does Taurus need to know? Taurus, upcoming future messages for Taurus. All right, so I have one card that landed upright. There we go. Very nice, Taurus. Lots of abundance here for you this week, Taurus. We actually have shower of abundance, if I can get it. Shower of abundance. To heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. So some of you need to be open. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. So some of you need to surrender. You need to be open to receiving that divine guidance and that assistance. Your guides or angels are definitely guiding you towards that abundance, Taurus. Absolutely. And if you were dealing with any sort of financial difficulties previous, it's time to let go and release those worries, those concerns that you've had, and it's time to stay positive and, yeah, receive this shower of abundance. So this is wonderful, Taurus. So I hope that you found this reading helpful. If you are not subscribed to me here on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe, because I do upload weekly and monthly tarot forecast. I also offer on Vimeo the Love Tarot Forecast, and over on Facebook and Instagram I do also pull a daily Oracle Guidance card. If you are interested in receiving a private reading from me, please check me out at northeasttarot.com, and I do wish you all just a wonderful week. Take care.